Welcome to our competency-based question series, designed chapter-wise to enhance your conceptual learning and understanding. Question 26. A light bulb is rated at 44 watt, 220 volt, and a table fan is rated at 60 watt, 110 volt. Which statement is correct if each of the two devices is connected to a power supply of 220 volts separately? So we are having a bulb and the rated power is 44 watt and volt is 220 volt that it can withstand, and it is connected to a 220 volt supply. Also we are having one fan, and for this fan the power rating is 60 watt 110 volt, and it is also connected to a 220 volt power supply. So we need to comment on these statements, that which of the statement is correct from the four given statements. So first try to find out the resistance for bulb and fan separately. So resistance of bulb, it will be V square upon P, where V is the rated voltage and P is the rated power. So it will be 220 multiplied by 220 divided by 44. So when we solve it out, it will be 1100 volt, 1100 ohm. So this is the resistance for the bulb. And now let's try to solve out the resistance for the fan. So resistance for fan, it will be 110 multiplied by 110, that is V square rated voltage divided by the rated power. So when we solve it out, it will be approximately 201.67 ohm. So this is the resistance for fan. Now we also need to find out the current drawn from the bulb and the fan when they are connected to 220 volt supply. So IB is the current drawn by the bulb and IF is the current drawn by the fan. So we can find it out with the help of formula, that I is equal to V upon R. So for the bulb, we will be using the voltage that is connected across the bulb, that is 220 volt, and resistance for the bulb is 1100. So IB, it will become equal to 220 divided by 1100. And when we solve it out, it will be equal to 0.2 ampere. Similarly, we can find out the current drawn by the fan, that is IF. It will be equal to the voltage across the fan, that is 220, divided by the resistance of the fan, and it was 201.67. So when we solve it out, it is equal to 1.09 ampere. Now we can see that IF, it is clearly greater than IB. Also, we can say that RB is greater than RF. The resistance for the bulb is greater than the resistance for the fan. But this is the current drawn when we have connected 220 volt. But we can find out the rated power current from these two values. That rated current is the maximum current that can be flown through the fan. And that will be equal to, for the fan, maximum allowed current, it will be equal to P is equal to VI. We know the formula. So we can use this formula. I is equal to P upon V. So P, it is equal to 60. So 60 divided by 110. So when we solve it out, it is 0.54 ampere. And for bulb, maximum allowed current, it will be again I is equal to P upon V, and that we can solve as 44 divided by 220. So 44 divided by 220, it will be equal to 1 by 5, and that is equal to 0.2 ampere. So this is the maximum allowed current. But here we can see that in the bulb, 0.2 ampere current is flowing. That is the maximum allowed current. But in the fan, the current flowing is 0.54 ampere. Although it will draw a current of 1.09 ampere when 220 volt is connected across it. But this 220 volt will lead to a damage to this fan after some time. So it will draw the current, that is for sure. That is 1.09 ampere. But after some time, what will happen? The fan may get damaged because the rated current is lesser than the current drawn. Now let's take the correct answer from the given option. The light bulb has a greater resistance and draws a greater current. No, it has the greater resistance, but it draws lesser current. In the second part, the light bulb has a greater resistance and draws a smaller current than the table fan. Yes, it is true that light bulb has a greater resistance and it draws a smaller current. And in C and D, the bulb resistance is being given smaller than the resistance of the fan. That is not true. So for the given question, option B is correct. Thank you. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep excelling.